Shawn is on with us now. Shawn, you're a co-host, so you can unmute yourself. Are you there, buddy?
I'm here, dude.
How are you?
Tara, stop doing that, please. I'm freaking amazing. How are you?
I am fantastic, man. I'm super grateful you had some time to share with us today. I know it was last minute, but nobody better to have on our last call of the year than you.
Well, I appreciate you letting me get on, number one. And I only caught a little bit of what you were just saying, but I think that what separates people, like when you go, anybody could have whatever year they want. They get a better year than anybody's ever, and I don't disagree with any of that. And I think people are so focused on like their goals and their plan. And I'm like, all right, dude, that's great. But what are you going to give up to get there? What are you going to stop doing? Like, I love all of you on here because, like, I love everybody. But there are people I know that I've known for 12 months, 18 months, 15 years. And the exact same shit they were doing 2 years ago that held them back from getting their goals and hitting their plan and doing is the exact same shit they're doing today. If they don't have the right schedule, if they sleep too much, not enough, if they drink too much, if they get high too much, if they perseverate too much, if they're negative too much, if they surround themselves with negative people, whatever it is that they're doing is the same stuff they've been doing. And it's funny because year after year after year after year, we sat in a meeting today and I said to a group of guys, I'm like, change it. And they're like, well, but we don't, why do we got to change it? I'm like, is it working? Has it given us the desired goal with the plan we set out? No. Okay, then change it. But it's odd how many people do the exact same thing. Like I could sit down with any one of you. I can take a piece of paper. I could take the schedule. I could write out your stuff and I could tell you exactly what's wrong. And you'd actually know it probably. That I'd be like, walk me through what time you get up here, what's your work schedule, what do you do at night, how often do you do stuff that doesn't make any money, how many vacation, it's like I was sitting in the office the other day here in Boca, and I said to the guy, man, imagine if you guys were hungry. And the struggle is when I say that to y'all, I'm talking to you. Imagine if you were hungry. Everything's perspective. I was in church Christmas Eve, and the family sitting down from me just lost their father, and a lady lost her husband in his 30s. Was a pastor at the church. Terrible accident, awful. And I'm sitting there just thinking, man, what perspective that gives you. Like what unbelievable. And I'm thinking of me as a human being, and I'm listening to them and I've heard the story. I know the pastors there really well. And, the accident was not his fault at all. It was 100% somebody else's. And I'm just sitting there going, look at the stuff we complain about on a daily basis. And I know some pastors that do it. I'm like, man, what Bible do you use? You complain about everything. You don't get ahead. It's never your fault. There's no accountability. There ain't nothing going on. And it's just your mindset. Like the answer just work. That's fine if your mind's right. But if your mind's not right, you working hard is not going to matter. It's actually not going to matter at all. You could be in an office 14 hours a day, be negative as crap, be around negative people, and then you could actually be there 14 hours a day. And the answer would not be work hard. It wouldn't be just work. It wouldn't be because like your self-defeating thoughts and the way you attack it. And I think for me, Frank, going into 26, I now more than ever, and I think about things I got to change, give up all those things. We all got them. And I think, I look back on our business and it's almost like if you could just take a mirror and put it up, not and look at you, but look at the goals you had for 25. Look at your plan you had for 25. and then ask yourself if you're where you want to be. A lot of people, it's a moving target. The number one reason a lot of people fail is they never stick to one plan ever. They dial for 4 days, it doesn't work. And what do they say? Why do they change, Frank? Why do they try to do something else?
Why do I think? Because they're weak mindset.
But what are they trying to accomplish when they do that? Like, hey, I recruited this way for 2 months and it didn't work. So I'm doing this. Then I'm trying this one over here. Even though the people are having success, why do they keep changing?
Because they think it's going to be easier. Some way else is going to be easier.
Because then it's not their freaking fault. People don't change because they think they're going to have a better result. They don't change every 97 days. They change, Patrick, Sarah, Jaden, because they have something else to blame. It's not my fault, obviously. I got a new
Mm.
script I'm going to try. No, dude, you just ain't working. No, but I got to get the better script. If I write the newer script, I'll be good. Accountability. What if in 26 you just be accountable for everything? Everything. Results are great, they're yours. Congratulations. The results suck, they're yours. Fix it. What if you write down a list of things today that you're going to give up in 26? And they may not be massive things. Mine 24 years ago were drinking, cocaine. They were a lot different than they've been the last few years, but I still have stuff to give up. What are you willing to give up? What do you want and need, and what do you want to give up? So, yeah, we're killing it. We're crushing it. It's unbelievable. But I'm sitting in my office um, December 23rd, talking to a young man, and he's telling me he's going to see his mom on Christmas. And then he's not on this call, he's not in this team. And then I see him the day after Christmas. And he's looking at me and he's got like, he's 20 or 21. And you can see big dude, and you can see he's getting tears in his eyes. And I said, "What's the deal?" And he said, "I went home to see my mom. And I've only been working with you guys for like a couple weeks. My mom can't afford her utilities. Like she got no lights on in her house, in her apartment. And I realized I got to up my game and take care of my mom." And I said, "Dude, you're so blessed. You're so unbelievably blessed." He has something a lot of you don't have. You have a safety net. You have people in your life that will give you money, support you, be there for you, pat you on the head when even though you ain't doing nothing, and tell you it's all going to be okay. He don't. I didn't. He doesn't. I said, "Dude, if you will just take that fuel for what you can do for your mom." And the magical part is when it gets really good, keep working. I was doing my podcast with Chris Carter, Frank, and I introduced him to a guy today. And he said, "Where are you from?" And the dude said, "Boca Raton, Florida." Chris just did one of these. And what our joke is we're praying for you because about everybody in Boca's rich. Sorry. That sucks. We're praying for you. I don't know if you'll go do this thing or not because you probably don't need to do it. And the reason I go to do this every day, Frank, is guys like that kid. We just getting started here at Family First Life. We have an unbelievable opportunity. You have an unbelievable opportunity. All the numbers we hit in 25 were amazing. The most important one is now we average $10,000 per month for the average agent. Average agent. Your average. Median, mean, mode, whatever your mathematical language is, our average agent does 10K a month. And that's amazing. Frank, what questions do you have for me? Do you think these guys have? If somebody has one, they can drop it in here. By the way, there are dumb questions. So your mom lied to you. There's no dumb question, Patrick. Yes, there is. And that means when it's not a legitimate question, like you have a legitimate question about anything that's happening here, the insurance industry, FFL, where we're going, where we're not going, anything to help you in your business, Well, Frank, is there anything you want me to hit on or any questions you have that you think people might want to know the answers to?
Yeah, I based off of what you just said, because you know, I know you hate when people give you credit, but I give you a lot. I give you all the credit for where we're at, where Jamie and I are at today, what we've been able to do for our family, my mom, my sister, her kids. But I wasn't poor. My dad wasn't rich, but he wasn't. I didn't grow up poor. I didn't have. I mean, I guess I had a safety net. If I was dying, my dad would have probably bailed me out. How do you handle someone that didn't grow up poor, didn't have that? I mean, I think I had a chip on my shoulder, but how did you coach me or someone that's not like dying to win because if they don't, their life is gonna, fall apart completely? How do you help those types of folks? Because we do have some of those, and we want to help everybody.
Well, first of all, I don't hate when you give me credit. It makes me uncomfortable. I appreciate you, but it makes me uncomfortable. And it's always going to make me uncomfortable because I just think I'm just doing the best I can and you did the work. So, but I appreciate you saying that. You answered, if you guys are paying attention to what he said, and every word he said, you didn't do this, Frank, because you were terrified that you were going to be living on Skid Row. You did this because you're a grown ass man and you were going to take care of your family. That no matter what anybody else did or didn't have, you, Frankie Femi, was going to take care of his family. You were also very honest with yourself. You didn't pretend to have some story. You were like, here's what my dad's done. He's done pretty good. We're definitely, he was not rich, but he's done good by us. He's a really good man, really good family man, really good husband, really good father. Like he's been there. But you wanted to take care of your family. You desired to take care. Matter of fact, you couldn't see it any other way. So it doesn't matter what you come from, good or bad. So I play around with that thing when Chris does that, and I'm joking. It doesn't matter. What desire do any of you, male, female, mother, father, brother, sister, parent, auntie, uncle, what desire do you have to take care of the people that you're responsible for? Now, who is that? Well, your family. So, Frank, I don't think that you're at a disadvantage like some of these other guys think. And I mean, not you, but people that I don't think, listen, I think if Shawn Meaike had been raised with a lot of money or Shawn Meaike had been raised broke, I would have worked. And I would have worked because I would have wanted to I would have wanted to take care of myself. But what we have to ask ourselves, Frank, is if people on this call are issuing less than 15 grand a month, they ain't working. Actually, I'd argue if they're issuing less than 20, I'm not mad at them. But will Jesse be that black and white? Hey, Tom, not mad at you. When will you go to work? Jesse, I've been working. Oh, ain't no damn way you've been working. You issue 18 grand a month. You don't have any leads and you're not working. It's impossible, but I want to help you. I'm not angry at you. I'm angry for you. So, Frank, I met you where you were at. I listened to you. I knew what you wanted, and I challenged that part of you, the desire for you to take care of your family, what that actually looked like for you. I knew it would piss you off when I called your place an apartment. I ain't dumb. I knew it would. It wasn't an apartment, but I knew, and I wasn't mad. You live wherever you want. I just wanted you to have what you have now. I wanted you to provide for your family what you provide now. I wanted you to do for your sister. And I wanted you to do for all those people what you do now. But you also have to be careful, Frank, because if you try to challenge somebody in a way that they don't want to be challenged, like I'm not going to ask any of y'all to raise your hands, but there's some of you that don't want to be challenged. Not today. How do I know? You don't do it to yourselves. And some of you do. Some of you are like, dude, I love doing that. I know I can tell by your results. And some of you don't. And I don't know how to live that life of not challenging me and playing it safe. I think the whole thing is the juice of it. The juice is the action kind of deal. You know what I mean? So I don't hope that answers your question, but that's the way I saw it, and that's the way it worked for me.
Okay. There are some questions here. Let me look at them. How do you defeat complacency? So when you said you get the challenge is when you start living better than you ever live is to keep working. How do you are proactive with that with someone you see maybe see it coming, or how do you prevent that from happening as best you can? I know you can't completely prevent it.
So if you and you've heard some of you heard me say this a lot, I apologize for redundancy, but it makes sense. This business forever. 17 years ago was the same way for me. And other people present it certain ways, like, people are lost, then we find them, then they get committed, then they have a lifestyle, then they get entitled, and then they eventually maybe they get some kind of legacy deal. I think everybody goes through the first five if they actually work. They don't work, they never get committed, they never work. But I think the lifestyle creates some entitlement for people. But it's that legacy. And legacy is this word that I wish we talked about more. Like, when you all are no longer here, what will they say about you? I'm sorry, but what will they say about you? Will they say, Nick worked hard for Nick and it was good? And Nick paid his bills and worked hard for Nick. Here lies Nick, a good bill payer. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being serious. What I don't know what you want people to say. What will they say about you? You know what breaks my heart? We were talking about this the other day. So that, like, people in their 70s and 80s working, not
Mm.
because they want to, Jesse, they have to. Like, you start talking, they're like, well, I got this going on. I'm taking my grandkids. I lost my benefits over here. The company laid me off. They're working. Like, what will your legacy be? And Frank, if there's so many people to help with insurance and so many people to recruit, how could we ever get complacent? That's what blows my mind. I'm kind of like, now, if you go, I'm only working to make enough money to get by, I don't know that you're complacent. That's your lid. And there's nothing wrong with that either. That's your life. I'm not, dude, I'm not judging anybody. I'm just telling you how I see it, what's worked for people here, and what I discern to be what I want my deal to be. But at the end of the day, Frank, if you're doing it to help other people, you'll never help enough. So you can't get complacent. I love this business. I love talking to dudes about where they're going. I love talking about what they can get better at. I love challenging them. I love challenging me. I love being challenged. I love it. I went the other day shark fishing, and the captain's a nut. You'll want to see him on Instagram. Mark the Shark. He crazy. Okay. I mean, crazy. And I said, hey man, don't BS me the whole time here. He's like, man, I follow your stuff on Instagram and YouTube. That's so good. Blah, 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 blah. I go, all right, hey, good. Guess what, dude? While I'm out here shark fishing, you're the expert. Don't BS me. Shoot me freaking straight. I want to catch a bunch of sharks. So we're on the way out there, we're talking. I'm like, and I know there's a reef where we're going. I go, hey, how do you pick the best location each day? He spins around and goes, you have any more stupid questions? And I was like, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's what I'm talking about. That was a stupid freaking question. Thank you. Like, shoot me straight. Be honest with me. Like, literally be honest. So I want to get better every day. I want to see people around me get better every day, and I want to help more people. And Frank, I think if you have complacency in your life, I think your goals are not high enough in whatever aspect of your life that is. And also, you can ask yourself, are you cool with, there's things in my life that I don't pretend I'm not complacent about. I tell you, I've told you for 17 years, I've never woken up one time and been like, man, I got to get me a six pack today. When I drank, I would have gotten a 30 pack. But since I got sober, I've not been trying to turn my abs into a six pack. There's not been one time that I've been like, damn, I need a six pack. So I'm completely complacent with doing what I do for working every day and eating all the stuff I want to eat. I'm fine with that. Now, Frank, if a doctor tells me in a month, hey, bro, I know you're doing that, but I'm just being, that sounds weird to you. I know the guys with six packs who might like to eat chicken breast and they do whatever all day long. You need to get a six pack to be in better shape, be in better health. Your health's at jeopardy. I'd get a six pack or the closest I could get to it. Meaning, I don't think every part of your life has to be this obnoxious, I'm going to crush the world kind of deal. I just think you have to figure out where you're going to be comfortable and where you're going to remain uncomfortable. I remain uncomfortable in my professional life because I'm providing for other people and I'm hopefully changing people's lives. So that's how I avoid it. And also, it's a pretty healthy addiction. I have an addictive personality, pretty healthy addiction to working and providing and serving and going out there and trying to lead every day.
For sure. All right, Dee's got a couple. She has three, but I'll give you the first two. And she said, "Thank you for this call. What is the best way for a new agent to hit the ground running, help families, and write life insurance in their first week?" question two, what is your outlook on life
King.
insurance industry now and the next 2 to 5 years relative to its 350-year history? Oh, she only had two questions.
Okay. The first one I got was, let's start there. How to help new agents hit the ground running in their first week, right?
Yep.
Okay. And again, if what you're doing with new agents is working, I'm being funny, disregard what I'm saying. If what you're doing isn't working, you might want to try it. For a guy that's been doing this for 17 years, I think we've provided more structure and more information, and we've done a poor job of getting people on the phones and helping them get good at this faster. And I think that everybody's different. So every one of you, from Jesse to Nick to Emerald to Sarah to Jacqueline, you're all different. Every one of you. Eric, if you give me and Eric Schmidt a script and ask us to read it and you make us read it, we'll read it and we'll do great. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just saying our tonality is like we talk roughly the same. So we're gonna be so if you give us the same script, okay, got it. But if you give Eric and I the same script as somebody else, I don't know all of y'all, it may not work for you. And I think we become so script oriented that we're like, all right, Tom, and now I need you to get a pen and paper and write down. I listened to a guy's phone call today, 21 minutes. Love the guy. I called him. I said, good news. You have room to improve. He said, everywhere. He said, where? I said, everywhere. Don't be mad. You have room to improve everywhere. There isn't any part of your phone script you can't improve on. The good news is you made some sales by accident. You are going to be awesome because that was not good. Now, I go, dude, why are you reading that? Like it sounds so disingenuous. And he's like, I don't know. No, I'm not opposed to scripts. But what we should be saying to people is get on the phone, be yourself. He cracked a joke in his script, built in. I said, you're not funny. I know you. There is nothing about you that's comedic. Don't tell jokes because it's disingenuous. And he's like, yeah, yeah. So he's great. He's going to kill us. And he had already made some sales when he first started, like pretty quickly. I go, what'd you do? He goes, I was just short and sweet in my script then. I go, then why aren't you just continuing to do that? But he did what I talked about earlier, had a bump in the road, got some advice from a few people who are not even in our business, and switches. So I think early on, we build this. I think, and listen, there's a lot of things I may not know, but I know that hiring Eric Schmidt, I was like, bro, call the people up and filled it out. Now, I understand you need a little more training than that. I got it. But it did work really well for us. I'm just saying. Now, we did talk about the product, we gave you some information, but I think the more you tell people, like that's why I was cringing, like, you need to finish this X amount of hours course before I let you call leads. And it's like, dude, how hard do you think this shit is? Tom, you fill it out. Yep. You're going to die. Yep. All right, let's get you some insurance. I'm not trying to be funny, but dude, seriously. Like we make this into something harder than, and I think sometimes we want it when we start doing these trainings and the this and that. It's like, dude, I don't know. I think we make it more complicated. So I think less is more early on. Get them on the phone earlier. Get them to be themselves earlier. Embrace them being told no, which is not a failure. Quitting's a failure. Not making a sale is not a failure. I think we need to do more of that. That's what I would do the first week they're out there. Get them on the damn phone. You listen to a couple dials, get them on the phone. Record it, and then make them listen to it. You listen to a few of them. That, dude, that's the world right there. And be supportive. Be supportive. This kid I was talking to today, he knows, and I know him. So he's like, he knows I love him. I am supportive, but I'm honest with him. So what was her second question about 350 years?
What's your outlook on the insurance industry in the next 2 to 5 years? Why is it a special time to become an agent? But I got one more question after this one, and it's a really good one. I think it's great to wrap it up with.
I have no doubt, Frank. I believe you. I believe in you. Um, the insurance industry changed, with COVID. I mean, this pre-COVID and pre-virtual and pre-people do these things over the phone and Zoom, I don't know how big we could have scaled. Now, I wish COVID never happened. I wish people didn't get sick, whatever your beliefs on or not. I just don't, not for 1 minute would want, what I did not realize was going to come out of a pandemic, the way the country handled it, the way we're at, what we're being told, whether you think it's good or bad or whatever your opinion is. And I'm not a scientist, and I ain't a politician. But what I will tell you is it changed the mentality of the entire country where everything became okay to do over the phone or Zoom. Court, parent teacher conferences, therapy, work. I mean, literally everything became okay to do like this. And the life insurance industry, as you know, exploded. Exploded. Leads became endless. The opportunity was not just for guys and girls who could jump on an airplane or drive 8 hours or 12 hours, spend X amount of money on leads and be away from their family for 3, 4, 5 days. It didn't, you could literally, every single person in America that get an insurance license could get on the phone from where they lived or wherever they were at, and they can make dials. So I think because of that, it's become the fastest growing time I've seen in 17 years. And I don't know anything prior to my 17 years that was as impactful as the world going virtual. The world went virtual. So that being said, I uh, I think it's probably the greatest time we've seen. I also know that for the 17 years I've been in it, it seems that the same 70% of Americans say they live check to check. I don't think that changes much. I think it's probably been that way majority of my life. And if I look at a lot of the people I know, the vast majority of people, well above half, live check to check. They get paid on Friday and they might be broke by Wednesday or Thursday, maybe Friday. That means we have a great opportunity to help them. Do we have more people that need life insurance? Great opportunity to help them. The information's out there too. The internet educated the world. Social media educated the world. So now those people that didn't know anything about life insurance, they're like, dude, I'm totally in. Like I didn't realize this. Like, get me in. I'm totally in. Um, so I think you'll see in 26, I think like we thought some of the last 2 or 3 or 4 years was explosive. I think what's happened now, products, I think when you're seeing, you've seen people fall in love with IULs. You've seen people be educated about them. You've seen people understand them. So I think there's so much opportunity out there for the insurance agent, for the client, for the guy or girl running an agency. I just think we're just literally scratching the surface, dude. So yeah, I think we're gonna be blown away what happens in the next 12 months.
I agree. All right. So last question. Heading into 2026, what's one habit or practice you see most top producers develop consistently that a lot of agents overlook, and how can we as agency leaders help make that the normal across your organization?
That's one of those like be careful what you ask for. So what I mean by that is the top producers, the only thing different about them, if I took the top 100 producers at FFL, there's such an eclectic group of people. It's so diverse. There's really not massive commonalities and background and gender and college educated, non-college educated. None of that stuff matters. But what I will tell you, Frank, is their commitment level to their work, it never changes. Their deal every week is their same deal every week. It doesn't change. If they go on vacation for 5 days, they kill it for the 5, 12 days beforehand, and they come back, hit the ground running when they get back. Like they don't play around. They're trying to finish the year strong. They knew Christmas was one day, December 25. It was the only day Christmas was. They worked 24th probably in the morning, which I always did, and got on the phone the 26th. A lot of our folks went 22nd and they're still on vacation. They like a bank. They'll be back January 5th. Like my dentist, I try to get in there. He's open January 5th. I'm like, must be nice. Thank God my teeth aren't falling out of my head. Um, But they're rabid about, and they don't, man, what's weird about them is they don't seem to talk to a lot of people in their life that don't believe in them, are negative, or hold them back. So when you start talking to them, you're like, well, what do you like? Well, I just do this. Like, whether they're married or not, whatever their deal is in life, they tend to have a pretty small circle and they keep it real tight. Even at the company, like they talk to a certain people. They're not listening to all they just keep talking. And also they don't attract the negativity because they're positive. So that's the thing about net people like, these guys are negative. I'm like, do not ever complain to me. And you're like, oh, well, you're in charge. I'm like, no, I just don't, I'm not negative. Like if you got something you don't like and there's a solution to it, let's have a discussion. You got something that you don't like and there's no solution to it, like, what do you want me to tell you? I hate that it snows. I'm like, dude, you live in Albany, New York. But it sucks. You live in Albany, New York. It ain't going to change in the winter. So why are we talking about the snow? It snows every single winter like crazy in Albany, New York. Why are we having a discussion? It's like people were in Florida in the summer, like, man, I hate the humidity. It's humid every summer in Florida. Literally never changes. Then move if it's so bad, but please stop talking to me about it. So they don't participate in that negativity, dude. And the problem is and I'll leave you with this, that's where the accountability kind of rubber meets the road. When you finally boil this business down to know that it's just how many hours you put in and what your attitude is when you're putting those hours in, then it's all you. The good is you, the bad is you. But a lot of times we've got to find something else because then it takes away from you. If you go through life being unaccountable, I think you're gonna live with a lot of regret, a lot of regret. And I think if you can go through life pretty mother freaking accountable, knowing you're gonna make some mistakes, you're gonna fall on your face, you're gonna get back up, you're gonna make some more mistakes, you're gonna do the best you can. Man, I think your life will be really, really amazing. So, Frank, I appreciate you, dude. I appreciate letting me get on, dude.
Appreciate you, man. Again, couldn't have done it without you. And dude, remember we used to come out with T-shirts, and the greatest T-shirt FFL ever created was Attitude and Activity. I still have 5 of those in my closet. I think we tend to. I'm not, and it's not intentional, but we tend to lose sight of those simple things that we did back in the day that changed our world, and that was one of those things.
It was, man. It's as simple as it was 17 years ago. Attitude and activity, brother.
For sure, man. Well, thank you. I greatly appreciate you. I love you.
Love you
And
too, bud.
thank you for sharing time with us. Guys, let's make it a great end of this week. Again, the second, New Year's Day, whatever. I wouldn't get drunk on New Year's Eve. It's a waste of time. The older you get, the longer it takes to recover. It's pointless, doesn't help you, doesn't make you any money. But I would be grinding the next 2 weeks because here's what's crazy. The competition at the top is very slim. There ain't nobody there because everybody's normal and they're down here fighting. So once you get above a little bit, it gets thinner and it gets easier. So if I want to set myself apart, dude, I'm grinding the next, New Year's Eve, first part of the day till you stop getting a hold of people. And then if you want to take off New Year's Day, have at it. But I'd be dialing New Year's Day too, because it's just a day and people aren't usually spending it with their family. So let's just be conscious of what we do and understand that this is the start of the new year. Don't take the very first day of the new year and be laying on the sofa. That makes 0 sense. So appreciate y'all. Thank you for hopping on. Good crowd. Thank you for that. Appreciate y'all. Couldn't have done it without you. We will see you on Trey's call starting in about 52 minutes. Have a great one. Love you guys. Take care.